The Giants. Video 1. Between Legends and Facts. Shocking revelations about the giants in Forbidden Archaeology. Prohibited Archaeology. Forbidden Archaeology is a series of videos that we are launching on this channel, with the aim of exploring historical accounts about the possible existence of the race of giants. In this series, we will present information from different cultures, such as American Indians, Europeans, Assyrians, and even biblical accounts. Although there are legends around the world that mention a race of giants that walked the earth, it is important to examine these stories in a broader context. Our goal is to present the facts and provide relevant information so that you can draw your own conclusions. We believe in the importance of careful analysis of available evidence, taking into account different perspectives and theories. Our intention is to promote a reasoned discussion and provide a space for reflection on this fascinating topic. We invite everyone to follow our series, where we will share knowledge and explore the possibilities related to the existence of giants. The race of giants throughout the world. Although there are legends throughout the world that tell of a race of giants that once walked the earth, it is necessary to examine these stories in a broader context. The Holy Bible mentions the offspring of the sons of God and the daughters of men, and some believe that these would be the Nephilim, who are theorized to be gigantic in some interpretations. However, there has been debate in the theological community for centuries about the true nature of the Nephilim and whether they were actually the giants described. It is interesting to note that legends of giants are not exclusive to Christian doctrines. Before the Bible was even conceived, oral stories about giants were passed down from generation to generation in Mesopotamia, Greece, Rome, Egypt, and also in America. These legends often depict powerful gods and goddesses who were greater than men. Although these stories have been demoted to the status of myth throughout history, one cannot ignore the fact that several different cultures, without any apparent connection. The legends of giants in Mediterranean countries are, without a doubt, some of the best known and most discussed. In addition to biblical accounts, such as the story of David and Goliath, we also have Babylonian accounts about King Gilgamesh. On stone tablets that have been recovered, there are carved images of Gilgamesh holding a lion as if it were a cat. When looking at the proportions of these ancient sculptures, it appears that this man had a stature of at least 12 to 15 feet, taking into account the size of the lion, which is portrayed as a small cat when killed by Gilgamesh. Was Gilgamesh a Nephilim? Gilgamesh would have lived sometime between 2800 BC and 2500 BC. He is the main character of the Epic of Gilgamesh, a Mesopotamian poem that is considered the first great work of literature. In the epic, Gilgamesh is portrayed as a demigod with superhuman strength, responsible for building the walls of the city of Uruk to protect his people and survive the Great Flood. According to the Sumerian king list, a mysterious document that was discovered, Gilgamesh ruled his city for 126 years. Fragments of an epic text found in Miturin, known today as Tel Hadad, report that, at the end of his life, Gilgamesh was buried under the riverbed. Gilgamesh is believed to have been a historical figure, as inscriptions have been found that confirm the historical existence of other figures associated with him, such as Aga de Kish. Aga was a king of Kish, an ancient Sumerian city located in modern-day Iraq. He is mentioned in the Sumerian king list as the last king of the Kish dynasty in the 3rd millennium BC. According to this list, his reign lasted an incredible 625 years. If we consider Gilgamesh as a historical king, it is likely that he reigned around the 26th century BC. Where did Gilgamesh come from? The origin of Gilgamesh is a topic shrouded in mystery and speculation. In the Qumran scroll, known as the Book of Giants, the names of Gilgamesh and Humbaba are mentioned as two of the antediluvian giants. This connection raises intriguing questions. Could Gilgamesh have come from the legendary Atlantis or be a direct descendant of antediluvian kings? Atlantis, a legendary lost civilization mentioned by Plato, has sparked the imagination of many over the centuries. Some theorize that Gilgamesh could be linked to this mysterious sunken land, possibly being an heir to the knowledge and powers of the Atlanteans. Another possibility is that Gilgamesh is a direct descendant of antediluvian kings, referring to the period before the Great Flood described in several ancient traditions. These kings were considered powerful and long-lived beings, with skills and knowledge beyond the ordinary. Although there is no conclusive evidence to support these theories, they fuel speculation about Gilgamesh's true origin and his place in ancient history. There is still much to be discovered and understood about this fascinating figure and his possible links to the antediluvian giants and the legends of Atlantis. The oral history of the Paiute Indians. If giants really existed in the past, it's natural to question where the evidence lies. Surprisingly, throughout history, discoveries of skeletal remains of giants have been made in various parts of the world, including America and earlier periods. A notable example is the oral history of the Paiute, which tells of the Si-Te-Cah, Si-Te-Cah, or Si-I, a legendary tribe whose mummified remains were allegedly found under 4 feet of guano by miners in Lovelock Cave, near Lovelock, Nevada, United States. Although the cave has been explored since 1911, authorities were not notified by miners until 1912. Unfortunately, many of the artifacts were destroyed by the miners themselves. A report written by James H. Hart, one of the first miners to explore the cave in the fall of 1911, mentions that in the north-central part of the cave, at a depth of about 5 feet, there was the impressive body of a man 1.98 m tall, mummified and with distinctly red hair. Unfortunately, in the first year of mining, some of the human remains and artifacts were lost and destroyed. The best example of the adult mummies was boiled and destroyed by a local fraternal lodge, who wanted the skeleton for initiation purposes. Additionally, several fiber sandals found in the cave were notably large, with one, over 15 inches, 38 centimeters long, being displayed at the Nevada Historical Society Museum in Reno in 1952. Paiute tradition holds that the Si-Te-Cah people practiced cannibalism, and this may have some basis in reality. During excavation of the cave in 1924, 3 human bones were found near the surface, toward the cave entrance. As reported in the Nevada Review Minor newspaper on June 19, 1931, these bones were broken to extract the marrow in the same way that animal bones were broken, which probably indicates cannibalism during periods of food scarcity. These discoveries provide intriguing clues about the possible existence of giants in the past, although unfortunately some of the evidence has been lost or destroyed over time. It is a reminder that exploring and preserving these archaeological discoveries is critical to unlocking the mysteries of history and expanding our knowledge of ancient civilizations and past events. According to Paiute traditions, the Si-Te-Cah were a tribe of red-haired giants and cannibals. Conflicts between the Si-Te-Cah and the Paiutes led to a protracted war, which culminated in the capture of the Si-Te-Cah remnants at Lovelock Cave. When the giants refused to leave, the Paiutes blocked the cave entrance with bushes and set it on fire. The Si-Te-Cah were completely annihilated. In 1931, 2 skeletons of exceptional size were found in the dry bed of the Humboldt River near Lovelock. One of these skeletons was about 2.5 meters tall and was wrapped in fabric covered in a gum-like substance, similar to Egyptian mummies. The other skeleton was almost 3 meters tall. According to reports, all the tribes in the region came together to face these giants, chasing them into the cave. The giants refused to leave the safety of the cave, and the Paiutes, along with other tribes, decided to burn it down. The cave later collapsed during an earthquake, sealing its entrance. In the early 1920s, during the exploration of the area to extract fertilizer materials, several fossils were found along with the skeletons. These human-like skeletons were well preserved and included a man and a woman. The woman was over 1.80 meters tall, while the man was over 2.40 meters tall. In addition to the skeletons, several other artifacts were discovered, including a circular calendar engraving the number of days and weeks in a year. In 1931, 2 other skeletons measuring between 2.40 and 3.0 meters tall were found in Lockport, Nevada. These archaeological discoveries provide intriguing evidence about the existence of beings of gigantic proportions and raise questions about ancient history and the presence of a race of giants in the region. Smithsonian mysteries and controversies. In recent years, there has been considerable controversy surrounding accusations that the Smithsonian and a group of skeptics and archaeologists are covering up the discovery of hundreds of giant skeletons found in the mounds of Native American Indians. One of the main people responsible for revealing these reports was Jim Ferreira, who compiled around 1,500 records from newspapers and books published in the 19th and 20th centuries. One intriguing set of true accounts that Ferreira uncovered concerns the giant skeletons found at Mount Chickasaw in Arkansas. At this location, many skeletons measuring approximately 2.40 meters to 2.70 meters in length were found. In 1976, a 7-foot-tall skeleton was discovered in the same location. It's unlikely that the Smithsonian found 7-foot-tall skeletons just by chance. The height of individuals buried in the ancient mounds of America was significantly greater than the average for the general population, which cannot easily be explained as a mere coincidence. This raises the question, why would the Smithsonian be covering up such a discovery? Some skeptics have asserted that gigantism disorder is likely the explanation for many of these reports, but they have no concrete evidence to support this claim. This is a weak attempt to explain and dismiss the issue. Gigantism is extremely rare, so much so that there are no comprehensive statistics on its occurrence. Throughout history, America has recorded fewer than 100 cases of gigantism. In reality, the vast majority of tall people today, who reach or approach 2 meters in height, do not suffer from gigantism. The current percentage of modern individuals that are 2 meters tall is just 0.00007%. In the time of the mound builders in ancient America, this percentage would have been even lower. Skeptics argue that freezing and thawing the skeletons made them appear larger than they really were, but this claim has been proven to be unfounded and incorrect. Texts and sources from modern paleontology inform us that buried bones, over time, can undergo processes of freezing and loss of mass, resulting in a reduction in size. It is important to consider these phenomena when analyzing the stature of discovered skeletons. Additionally, there are Native American legends passed down to ethnologists that describe a race of giants that invaded the regions where mounds were found. According to these legends, these giants became leaders and priests of the tribes, but over time, they became corrupted and were exterminated. Surprisingly, throughout modern history, several giant skeletons have been discovered, many of which are not widely known to the general public. For example, in Williamson County in White County, Tennessee, large bones were found in the 19th century, with an average height of 7 feet. Other giant skeletons were found in the mid-19th century near Rutland and Rodman in New York State. In 1833, soldiers excavating at Lompoc Rancho, California, discovered a 12-foot-tall male skeleton, accompanied by shells, stone axes, and other artifacts. Unfortunately, this body was secretly buried due to the discontent of the local Indians. Giant skulls and vertebrae have also been found in Wisconsin and Kansas City. Off the coast of California, on Santa Rosa Island, a giant with a double row of teeth, a common feature among giant skeletons, was discovered in the 19th century. In 1879, a 9-foot skeleton was excavated from a mound near Zanesville, Ohio, and Warren, Minnesota, also revealed skeletons of impressive dimensions in the 19th century. In Clearwater, Minnesota, 7 giants were found in mounds, with retracted foreheads and double dentition, with 2 rows of teeth. In La Crescent, Minnesota, mounds containing giant bones were discovered, and just 5 miles north, in Dreschbach, bones of individuals over 8 feet tall were found. Therefore, although there are narratives and legends about giants in various cultures, we must approach these stories with skepticism and closely examine the available evidence to gain a more accurate understanding of human history. Rigorous and impartial scientific investigation is essential to clarify questions related to the existence of giants and understand our history more completely. So, what did you think of today's video? What impressed you most? I hope this video was helpful. If you have anything to add, please share it with us in the comment section. And if you liked this video and haven't subscribed to our channel yet, subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss any of the intriguing videos we post every week. And if you want to learn a little more, be sure to click on one of these videos we are suggesting for you. Remember, to know the past is to understand the present and prepare for the future. Until the next video.